Yeah, because he has to summarize it for us every day.
We're playing this game right now at the coffee shop where it's like, I'm going to tell you everything that's on my mind, and you're going to listen because that's what I do for you.
I love
It
this game.
works. It works. I enjoy it. Actually, I wasn't doing it for a while, and now I'm like, hey, why am I the only one having to listen to her? Like she should have to listen to me too. So now we even the playing field.
Rosie looks thrilled about this new development.
It would be nice if I'm listening and I'm giving advice back, like I let him give me advice. But it doesn't work like that because the moment I give the first sentence of advice, I think I got it.
You know what I'm really excited about, Bree, is this opportunity to just come clean, come clean with things and not hide behind something. And I think the books that I was reading here lately or really kind of pointing in that direction because I think we live in a society that's really polite. We don't want to tell anyone what we're thinking. But this morning was a really empowering moment, I think, for relationship wise, like husband, wife, being in business, doing this real estate thing. And it was a moment where I said, okay, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about me right now. And she was going through some sort of dialogue, like, I think you perceive things such and such. And I said, no, you think I'm being hard to work with. And I may use some profanity. I'll refrain from that because there may be kids watching. So I was like,
Kids know.
well, okay. So I was like, yeah, you probably are sitting there thinking, he's being a total asshole right now. And she was like, yeah, wow, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And it was a refresher because, and again, see, like right now, I didn't want to use profanity, but sometimes, like, I'm just realizing we gotta,
But how about the 6 minutes of compliments I gave you yesterday?
no, no, it was beautiful. We had a great time.
6
Wait,
minutes.
6 minutes. Remind me.
You can start again now. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. So today is going to be a very special call. We as a team are doing something great.
Um, what do you mean?
Oh,
Pointing at a certain direction? Are you talking about something that we're doing? Are you going to announce something?
No, Brie, what are we doing? Let's help him remind.
we're doing the 75 hard challenge.
Yes, 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 yes.
And we're keeping it simple. So what does our 75 hard look like?
So we're doing a gallon of water a day. We are reading 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book. We are doing workout totaling an hour. So ideally would be 2 30-minute, or you could do an hour. And I don't know if we decided if 30 minutes has to be outside.
No, we didn't decide that. Just get it
Okay,
done.
just get it done. Okay.
And Brie, how quickly did we decide on getting it done?
On Saturday at like what in the afternoon, we were messaging about it. And wait, we have to take a picture every day and send it in the group chat. Progress picture. Oh, there goes Rosie drinking her water as a reminder. And you have to send a progress picture every day in the group chat. Saturday, we were doing it. I said, oh, when should we start? She said, tomorrow. I said, tomorrow like Sunday or like Monday? She said, no, let's just do it tomorrow. We did it.
That's
We
incredible.
started
It's
it
not
Sunday.
simple. Make a decision, get it done. We'll see later.
Yeah.
Right. And but there's one more rule that I added that I never announced to you because I don't think you need a reminder, but other people might. So the rule of our 75 hard is if
Oh.
one person messes up, the whole group has to reset.
Oh,
Oh,
I did not know this rule.
I didn't know that one either. That's new.
Guys, you better not mess up.
Well, you too.
I won't. I will be very good.
I love the
Oh,
confidence.
wait, one more rule. Oh, why are we forgetting all the rules? You have to also follow some sort of diet or give something up.
Oh yes, yes, yes. With that, went out of. I gave up sugar.
I
I
gave
knew
up. I
junk
gave up
food.
sodas,
No added sugar.
Junk food
sugar
from
free or sugar sodas.
processed foods.
No, a sugar-free
Bree
soda.
said no soda. So have you had any soda?
No,
How are you feeling?
great.
Life
The
is so
craving hasn't
okay.
kicked in yet.
I'm just assuming it didn't exist in the world. Sugar doesn't exist in the world. I've been drinking bland lattes and
And how are you feeling?
just fine. I live. I'm giving up my dark chocolate
No, I
vibe.
can't have sugar in my coffee. Like that was a thing I used to really crave because towards the end of the cup, that last little sip, it'll have like a concentrated syrup at the bottom,
Hmm.
and drinking that was like, that's a cup of coffee.
Hold on. So
I
what did you
purposely
give up
wouldn't
in your
stir it
diet?
all the way,
What
huh?
did you give up in your diet?
Junk food, chips,
Honey, uh,
chips.
you said you need to come clean. Oh, no processed bagged food, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing
So
that comes.
nothing out of the bag for him, Brie.
Yeah.
Guys, better do good, guys.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
pumped
Because
up.
if one person drops the ball, we all reset.
Oh, I'm so
No, hey,
scared.
now, why is it? Well, obviously we know, right? Why would you? What do y'all have any expectations from 75 hard? Like, what do you expect will be the end result at the 75 days? Is that something you care about?
Um, I just want to do a challenge, and I think my end result will be establishing a habit.
Mm,
Establish the habit of no more sodas and working out every day.
yeah,
The other things I feel like are pretty simple for us, at least for us to do, anyways.
yeah, pretty easy.
I think my little one thing is number one, um, gain more confidence in myself that I can say something and I can do it. Second, I feel like it has more meaning because we're doing it together. There's something about doing it things together. Like the moment when we were doing 10,000 steps in the beginning in the first quarter, it was going so well. Then we traveled in the middle and it went off. I felt like it's just like a one extra thing we do in a day that we feel good about. I'm doing it to feel good. That's it.
Yeah.
I just
Guys,
want to
this
say
is
I
my
did it
old
and I won over it.
here. If I just tell myself don't have a soda, I'll have a soda.
Oh yeah, I mean,
No one will hold me accountable. But if I'm doing this with my friends and it's a challenge, I won't have a soda.
I
Hmm.
really like what Chase Hughes talks about. He says, exerting control over yourself. I'm
Yeah.
really kind of that's like my drug right now. I'm like, okay, what areas of my life and where can I exert more control over
By the
myself?
way, getting Roger to take a picture to send it in the group,
Yeah, that's
like I just climbed a Mount Everest. He won't do it. Oh, look
yeah.
at him.
You see the scratch?
I see this.
Uh, I live with the
I can like from even before I understood behavior science. When I married him, I will say something and then scratch the back of his head. I was like, "You didn't like what I have to say." He said, "No, no," and I never bought his BS. I was like, "No, you did not like what I had to say," and very true.
What? I'm just kidding.
yeah, exactly.
So, Roger, what do you expect out of 75 Hard?
That is I said it already. I expect to be able to. I really enjoy the idea of exerting control over myself, as per Chase Hughes. He says like exert control over yourself and as many areas of your life as you can and do things that your future self would thank you for. So I'm not necessarily looking at 75 days later like exactly what the byproduct of that is, but I know my future self would be really happy that I did a great job for 75 days. And so one of the things that I'm looking forward to experiencing with you guys is that mindset, like mindset from friends, and that kind of day 60, not feeling like it's day 60, it still feels like day one because you're doing it together,
Ooh.
like feeling excited about performing at a high level, because there's something about we could do 75, we could do this challenge like any other challenge, and then towards the end of every challenge, what happens, we kind of are racing to the finish line, and maybe the quality of our work starts to go down because we're nearing the end. And so what I'm really looking to do is maintain enthusiasm to the very end, like, you know finish strong. I really want to experience that side of me, that finishes strong. That's
Mm. I like that side of yours too, that can grow into that way, you know?
yeah. Hey, okay. I want to spend a little more time on that. Okay. I have a really cool topic today,
Okay,
and I think it'd be a great way to shift the conversation.
I'm ready.
Okay. What do you guys think about this? So there's something that we would refer to as the lead character in a movie. Are you the lead character of your movie, of your life with your family, with your friends, and how you show up to places? Or are you the supporting cast? Or, and this is the beautiful part, are you the author of your story?
Well, I want to ask you this one thing. I'm just confused. Why are you looking that way?
Why am I looking what way?
Yeah,
Oh,
I know you like this. Yeah. I feel like you're just moving away from me. I had to get that corrected to before we keep going. Lead
yeah.
character. Depends upon what role I'm playing. Sometimes I'm the lead character.
No, of your life.
Oh, of my life. Of my life?
Of your life. Not of what you do. Yeah, I understand when when we're working with others and we're collaborating and then, our roles shift.
Bree,
But
you go. I want to know. I understand the question now. Thank you. Bree, who are you?
I would want to say we're the author. I'm the author, but I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I okay, wait. Sometimes I feel that I'm like giving main character energy in one instance, and then the next I'm kind of like just being a supportive cast in my life.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm doing this shit. I'm the author," you know? But I kind of feel like I go in little circles.
Now, here's where I think it's really important we don't confuse our roles with what I'm talking about here, right? So, what I'm talking about specifically here would be in this very instant, in the present moment. Whenever, we don't have anything besides the present moment, anyways. And so, when we have that present moment, we're thinking about a decision. Like if I have a decision to show up with you in something. You call me and you say, Raj, uh, I need you to show up for me in this way, right? And by retaining autonomy over the situation, no matter what it is, I am the author. How I'm choosing to show up with you is authorship. Now, how the storyline unfolds, like we're as much of authors as we can be, right? Like I know where you guys are probably where our electricity is going in our brains. Like we can't write out exactly all the details and how the characters are going to show up in our lives and how are other people going to behave with us. But when I talk about authorship and how I think Chase talks about authorship is are we retaining autonomy over our decision? Like Nelson Mandela being in a prison all those years, right? He could have said, well, I'm supporting staff because I don't have a say. Or someone that was in the Holocaust could say, well, I really don't have a say and I'm probably supporting caste because I'm marginalized. But in that position, in that moment, when they retain their autonomy on how they want to show up, like how you show up with Ella, in that relationship is going to be 100% up to you.
Mhm.
You decide how you're going to show up with her. And and sometimes we have this like notion where we put ourselves on the back burner or we say, maybe blah, 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 like these narratives, those narratives would be making ourselves supporting cast. Like when we marginalize our significance, our impact in the world or in our relationships. It's knowing that how I show up for Brittany matters. It's being on the field with you, you know? And that's what I think they're referring to.
So, in your opinion, Roger, what do you think are you showing up as? Like, what is your introspective feeling like about this?
I don't know if it's necessarily how I'm showing up. That's not the frame I think that this is talking about. More so over in the present moment. Am I blaming or casting my all my responsibilities onto somebody else or something else? Am I saying that I don't have any control and therefore, like I think as soon as we do that, we step out of authorship.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
so it's
It's almost like the difference between the author and lead character. I think we are very clear on what supporting cast is. Author and the lead character seems like is living life by design, or by default, because
it's
sometimes
striving, right? Striving to do a great job would be a lead character.
lead character like always thinking that life revolves around me taking action, me taking decision.
Yeah,
Authorship could
it's
be
like
where I'm
walking into the
writing a
courtroom,
story. Today
huh?
I'm writing a story. Today, the main character of the story is Brittany, right? And I'm co-creating this experience with her. And how is she feeling? What can I create for her to ease her life to move forward? Today, what can I give up in my ego and identity to navigate my conversation with Roger easier? Right? How can I not get stuck? That's authorship. That's
Uh,
being an author, where I'm not getting stuck, but I'm moving, flowing, right? And I'm not attached to
yeah,
things
exactly.
happening. I'm not,
Less ego. Ego takes a back seat.
yeah, and not this like neediness and detachment is a big one to pay attention to because you made a good point today, and I was having a conversation with you. So neediness is like needing like something to happen a certain way, and also having a validation or a high level of approval, right? When we're looking at this idea, and Roger made a very good point. He said, sometimes not understanding how to get rid of this and constantly thinking about getting rid of it
Yeah,
is almost like we're becoming needy about getting rid of neediness,
yeah.
right? And that can dissipate a lot of our energy. Having to be a certain way, because for growth we require 100% attention and focus and presence to the moment. I can only enjoy this work if my brain is not wandering off in 10 different things. I
So
think those
how about
quality conversations are very different.
yeah? How about this for a change? Like I had never experienced this until yesterday, and I heard of this logic that get familiar with things, not in order to have an answer. So, like for instance, if I'm helping Rosie and I'm using like deductive reasoning, and we're trying to form a answer out of something, that's
Yeah,
not where possibility lives.
this is
Possibility,
great.
that right there blew my mind because I'm 42 years old, and each and every day of my life has been about finding the answer. That's what we're trained in school. 3 + 2 is 5. And so this new logic that I was introduced to was saying that you don't have to strive so hard to find the answer. It's rather becoming familiarized, forming a distinction, asking questions. Like if
It's finding a new possibility. That's where yeah, that's
yeah,
what you had said. So
yeah.
let's just explore this real quick because I know this is the conversation you and I have not had yet. So imagine, Roger, give me some example of what problem we were trying to solve. We were trying to get to an answer of it.
Oh, you and I were trying to solve this?
Yeah, something that we can share publicly.
Right. Thanks for the filter. Now I'm gonna have to work hard for that. Why don't we take a real life scenario? Somebody wanting to
Wait,
buy.
give us a problem to solve right now.
Okay, what about someone who wants to lease over buying?
Okay, well, they had the plans about buying the whole time, and now all of a sudden they are leasing, right? When this actually happened today. How about that, right? So when you called, what we were trying to look for is an answer. What should I do? What should be done next, right? We agree? One thing we can all agree on: there was an answer we were seeking in the moment, because answer means a certainty of the result. Like, this is what we want, an outcome, right? Certainty, outcome. Already, we are not in the author, right, role. We are in the lead character role. Let's just play this role. But when we walk through our conversation together, understanding, okay, what is somebody expecting in this situation right now? Where are those expectations coming from? What do they think their role is, and what how they are seeing ourselves, and what are they believing about this interaction? And what is the story they're telling themselves? And then how are they defining their reality, right? We're looking at this conversation. As we started exploring these questions, it was not about, hey, what should we say? It was 100% curiosity. Okay, what could they be thinking right now based on everything we have learned to know about them? At the end, did we get a certainty or an outcome that it is going to happen a certain way for us after that conversation?
No.
No. But we had a possibility, like you were just telling me before the live that you're excited for that call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're excited about a possibility to bring clarity. And sometimes all we are looking for is the person with most clarity in the room.
That would be a great example of authorship, I feel like.
Yeah. Like, maybe the person who's the author is the person who's able to, like, I was having a conversation around noon with one of my investor partners, and we were talking about a deal. I knew how, where are we headed? Why are we headed that way? What are our friendly forces? What are our enemy forces? What are the things that are playing for and against us, right? I have a full clear view. But in her voice, I heard certainty, uncertainty, right? You can see when somebody's saying, yeah, right? Easiest thing was what? To brush it off and just say, okay, don't worry about it, just do that. I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, great, awesome. Isn't that what the world does 90% of the times? We don't care, or we do hear it, but we don't want to acknowledge it. Why? Number one, either we don't have a way to acknowledge it. Number two, we don't have humility to say, I don't have the skill to address that for you. Or number four, we don't even have an answer. But who put this pressure on our head that we have to have an answer all the time?
Answers are overrated because that's not really usually why we're not acting on something. We could have all the answers and still choose not to do it.
Because if in that moment, if I have an answer, what did I do? Rob myself of a possibility. The possibility of us continuing to work together with the same motivation. So if I choose to just slow it down and I just address it to the other person, I told her, I said, hey, you don't sound convinced. What is it? She said, no, I think I get it, but I don't know if I truly get it. What was her echo? What she's saying is that I trust you where you're headed, but I don't know if I know where we're headed now. What is the reason we changed from the previous? People need reasons. I need a reason. Like, when you changed the last coffee social location at the last minute, what did Bree do to you
Yeah, yeah.
at the front door?
Yeah, yeah.
You got away with a lot. I could have never pulled that off. Good job, Bree.
Exactly. You know, authorship would also be, I'm now that I'm thinking about it, like, you know, when you go to the drive-through and someone got your order wrong, and how you react to them, and or what you make of the story, or you're sitting at dinner and you're not complaining about maybe they brought out the wrong plate or something, right? That's like a small example, real small example of authorship is putting up with BS
Mhm.
because it's happening to you. Authorship
Authorship is
is
putting up with BS?
putting
No.
up with any kind of BS would be the opposite of authorship.
Yeah, yeah,
So
like, not
authorship
taking
would be,
responsibility would be
yeah,
opposition
yeah.
opposite of being.
Authorship would be, hey, let me scoot my chair in. Let me let somebody know this isn't what I wanted. Let me get to the bottom of this. Let's make it clear. Or whatever your strategy is, but being intentional about it, I think that's authorship.
Taking responsibility.
Taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, I wanted to know if authorship was even a word. We just made one up. It refers to a state or fact of being the creator and originator of the work, especially a written or intellectual one. Taking responsibility is one of them. I'm 100% responsible for the way life is happening around me.
I think when you're in authorship, you also don't mind asking people how something works.
But there's other side of it. So we were getting our phones changed yesterday. I want to share a little story. Okay. I don't know, people who know me, like Bree, you know us very well. Roger and I have a very hard time coming to an agreement on our perspectives. We believe our perspective is unique and foolproof, and the other person has no idea what they're talking about. On that note, so yesterday we were getting our phones.
Oh, did she just insult me? I, hey, there's a big difference between believing and knowing. I know.
Ego gets insulted, honey.
Okay,
Okay.
you're right.
So we're looking at a phone, right?
Mhm.
I'm just going to show it to you guys. So this guy told us at the shop, he said, if these two cameras, they work very hard at Apple to make sure they're 100% aligned. Because even if it's 0.01 millimeter misaligned, it will no, it won't capture the right angles. There would be an error, right? And I was like, wow, like two perspectives have to be that much aligned.
Mm.
And if we're not aligned, we think we are getting we're seeing the world from a proper lens. But what if we're not? We're getting an incorrect picture. What was that?
Two perspectives. Yeah. You
No,
need
you
to.
have something to say.
No, no, no. I mean, I get the analogy. I really like it. It's you and I have to, or with the world, it's how we interact with the world. It's having another perspective to bounce that off of, because having our own single-sided perspective doesn't really mean anything.
And
We're both-
alignment to me is not that I'm agreeing with you. Alignment simply means we can coexist together without disrupting the other person. Like, hey, I can value where you're coming from. I can see that. Like, it's you existing is not disrupting me. How about that?
Or you having a different opinion is not disrupting me. Because I think I think that a lot of conflict comes from you're not seeing the other person's side. And
Yeah.
if you can see
Uh,
where the other person is coming from, then you might not agree with them. You might still think that they were wrong in the situation or whatever the case may be. But you can see their perspective and say, okay, cool, yeah, whatever, and keep it moving.
That cool whatever. Tell me more about that.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's how you're seeing it this way. I'm seeing it this way. I think one way, you think differently. We can agree that we're not going to see the same thing, but I understand where you're coming from. I get it, and I'm like, we can move forward. We don't have to live in the past. We don't have to think about that anymore.
That is very, very powerful. Let's just explore that, how many times that happens, right? Now, just because I'm studying about this right now, I feel like this is what negotiations is, by the way, guys. If y'all are listening and you say, hey, how do we come to agreement? How do we negotiate and not split the difference with other people? We're about to share with you. This is exactly how it goes. So, Bree made a very good demonstration of what really happens. One person sees one way, the other person sees A sees this way, B sees this way, right? A realizes where B is coming from, and they realize we're never going to see the same way. So I see where we're going with this. Let's just move forward, right? This is one way of saying that. Roger, where are you looking at?
I'm thinking while you're talking.
Okay, keep thinking. Okay, so this A says that, you know what? B is not going to see my way. I see where they're coming from. Now, you know what? Let's just move on. That's fine. I see where you're coming from, right? That is deciding that I'm not going to have a conflict about this anymore, right? But what if
Mm.
we show up in a way, because can we both agree perspective is a narrator that is in our mind that is deciding on how to view the world. That's a worldview, right? Now, if A truly desires to have an influence and they have a high level of certainty in this moment, how can A show up So B doesn't feel the need to hold on to that story, and they are now merging into one view. Because to move forward, one or the other view has to win.
Change
Mm.
their perspective.
Because we only move for either we are not doing either of these things, which means we did not accomplish, right? That's where things are stalling and stuck. For things to move forward, we have to pick one way.
But hmm, why does that not sit well with me?
Ah, I want to know why.
Something about that conversation doesn't just land on my ears.
So what I'm trying to say is that two people are holding a frame.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, so now I gotta go change. I gotta go to Hobby Lobby and buy a new frame. Like, it's
No,
so.
why do you have to buy a new frame? What if this person doesn't feel like they need to hold on to their story anymore because they understand that we're leading in the right direction, even with this story? Just to call out the fear that, hey, it's not necessary to hold on to this anymore. Now,
I think the word frame that might be the best explanation of it. But what about the painting? You took the frame off. You still stuck with the same ugly painting. You know, I don't know if it's really cognitively very taxing. The idea.
how would you explain that? I want you to explain it then. Why is it cognitively taxing? What is cognitively taxing about it?
Um, okay, so I don't think anybody goes into a conversation thinking I have to keep frame or is my frame being challenged or
Nobody knows this because it's not visible. It's invisibly happening.
okay, so hmm,
Right now, you and I are having two different opinions. Your worldview and my worldview is different. This is the clear demonstration of it. I can say, okay, I see where you're coming from. And
yeah,
you can see where you're coming from. And I was like, okay, whatever, let's just move on. But where did we move on to?
yeah.
Me, my way, and you, your way? Or we are moving together in one direction?
So are you talking about actually allowing your actually allowing for the frame to what? Like you want to go into the conversation. Obviously, if you're protecting a stupid idea, and let's say I'm really confident about my stupid idea,
Mhm.
right? That's not going to benefit you or me. We're going to be
It
treading
is,
down the wrong
it's
path.
only going to be not beneficial if it was a stupid idea. But if
Right.
you are more certain about your stupid idea, I'm not going to see it as stupid. Because in that moment, you are the person with higher clarity. I will just give in because the person with high clarity and certainty will naturally win.
And you think that's all it ever takes.
It's all that ever takes. And
Oh,
non reactance. The moment we react, we lose the frame
okay.
because reactance means fear.
Yeah.
And we don't follow fear. We want certainty. We want clarity. So isn't that what's happening in negotiations all the time?
I think when we're saying we want for our frame to win, that would be a
You cannot the person who wants the frame to win right away, I feel like loses it.
yeah,
People
because
with winning frame don't show up in a conversation saying my frame has to win. They are just anchored in their perspective. They're just 100% sure. And that's what I learned from all the work I've been doing with Chase Hughes. The conversations around frame has been so powerful to learn. And what's more powerful is to actually use it. Like when we actually, I cannot wait for the week to start and actually practice it in the streets.
yeah. You were
This right
using it
here.
this morning, right? You were using it this morning and you had a strong frame. Uh, Now, what was really cool watching Rosie speak with somebody who had a really strong frame and was really excited and had a lot of certainty, and then the conversation evolved
Yep.
because you were more comfortable, it seemed like.
Yep, yep. I was like, I just need a little slit in the belief system so I can introduce my new idea. And here we are. And the frame never meant that he had to go with my idea as long as he considers what I'm saying and we are still pleasant in our relationship. That's all. I'm not looking to win a frame. I don't care to win a frame. There is
Yeah.
no frame because there's no frame to win. It is invisible, silent negotiation that's happening in the back end.
So you're just exercising frames and getting your reps in. That's what would be the right mindset.
I'm not exercising frames, but I'm getting my reps
No,
in.
for someone like me.
Yeah, with you, I like to exercise my frames and win.
Right, of course.
There lies the problem.
That's
I'm
why she's not
a
getting
little
through.
confused.
Like
Huh?
right now is a perfect example where you were like, it's not cognitively too expensive for me. And then I'm like, okay, right now I could have easily lost my cool. I lose already.
So then what was the end? Because in my mind, I see what Roger's saying and I saw what you were saying. And I was like, yeah. So then what? I'm confused.
Yeah, back to square one, right?
Okay, let's go back to square one. Let's do it again.
Okay.
So, Roger, first of all, let's explore this together. When you were understanding Roger, what were you understanding? What were you hearing?
So from Raji, I heard that like where we can't always just come to the same agreement, right? Like one frame can't overpower the other frame. And what's the purpose of that? What if that other person has a really stupid idea, but they're very certain about it? Then the other person has to either fight them for it, even if they might not care, or the other person has to agree with them, so that way you all come to an agreement.
Beautiful. Very well said. So you're basically saying is that Roger does have a point that hey, one person has a stupid idea, and you're now they're more certain. Now we have to go with the stupid idea because through this camera angle zoom out, we know that's a stupid way to go, right? Am I with you so far?
Yeah, or that like there always has to be some sort of
Agreement.
agreement.
Okay, so let's
I
explore
have,
this.
I have a question. So ideally, we want to see. Okay, let's say I have a really good idea, and you have a really good idea, and I feel like my idea could save us a lot of money and help us generate a lot of money. Right? It's a business idea, and you also have a business idea. Now, when we might be clashing because you have a completely different idea than I do. We're clashing on our frames.
Yeah, we're clashing on our frames because one person is going to have a higher certainty. I'm going to stick to the stupid idea frame first, right? That person is more certain that their stupid idea works, right? It's only stupid to the person on the other side, but not to the person believing it. Can we also agree on that?
True.
Right? So the fact that we're seeing other person's idea stupid is right away how we lose our frame.
Okay.
Because we're not with the open mind.
Yep, we're in judgment. So now this is where me and him were having a conversation in the morning. The other person has more certainty. Isn't that where inaction comes from? Some people are like, well, I'm not going to do this because I know this is going to go wrong. And you're like, no, it's going to be fine. Let's just do it. But do I not have more certainty in this than the other person? How can I create more certainty in presenting that idea? And to me, I think it comes from
Is that assuming that everyone who's stuck on something is only stuck on it because they haven't met someone who could infiltrate their frame?
that's it.
Maybe.
They just have a higher certainty about their opinions and facts than the other person. Because in negotiations, you know what we say? Let's go with my point of view while you gather facts for yours. What is this person saying? That I have done my research. I'm being truthful. I'm sincere in the request I'm making. And I know this is a wise decision. My certainty is just a titty bit more than the other person. And as long as I'm not reacting to the disagreement, I'm holding my calmness, my composure. You guys have no idea how many times when we were having this back and forth, I was feeling like, oh my gosh, like, am I not understanding this concept that I'm preaching right now? But in that moment, I had a decision to make. It's okay. I'm okay being wrong. The moment I said I'm okay being wrong, right away, the non reactance went away. But I had that little quick momentarily conflict happening in my mind because that's where
So how do you use this in negotiations?
how I use a negotiation is number one, first of all, very first thing, working on the being. Like we got to be anchored, centered, calm, and be okay with things not going our way at the end.
So you want someone to reduce you guys are buying their property or helping someone buy a property
Or
and
sell theirs.
or sellers, but in this case, let's go. You're helping someone buy a property. All right,
Mm-hmm.
you and Bree, and y'all want someone to knock off $30,000 off of the price.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna use frames, right?
Yeah. In that moment, I want to know, okay, well, this is the now. At any time, this doesn't resonate with you. I totally understand. We don't have to do it. This is non attachment. And really meaning to say this.
So you got to have a level of non-attachment to the results. You can't be like a needy person trying to exercise frames because it's going to backfire.
The more, yeah, because the moment I say that my frame has to win, that means I have an attachment.
Mm.
That's good.
Oh, to get a good out of you. Mm.
Can you give us a 90-day run? You know, I told Rosie, I was like, I would need a 90-day program to follow to get rid of my neediness, you know, so I know it's flushed out.
I'll take it to the people. I will make your request for you. I'll let you know those through.
I
But
mean,
let's go to this, right? So this is first the being part, then the doing part, right? A lot of people have a good doing skill, but their being is missing and it comes across as arrogance. And a lot of people have the being part, but they don't have the necessarily a way to do it. And then X never goes to Y. It just stays there. It's just looping, right? No outcome happens. So what I'm trying to really get to is that there is a silent negotiation happening between two people all the time. Always, always. Am I okay being wrong? I'm okay being humiliated. Is a level of detachment what it takes to really let the intelligence shine in the moment? Because is it true that does the good idea has to come through you or the good idea just has to happen?
Happen.
Then the moment we let go of that part, then now we can really think about it is a good idea or not. Because until we are saying my idea, your idea, one person's idea has to win. And then feeling like the other person's idea win right away has an attachment to it.
Mm.
And mine didn't win. Idea has to be good. Doesn't matter it comes from you or I. Now we can truly get behind something. And I think it's beautifully said. Like even in Oren Clapp's for Pitch Anything, he talks about frames and he says, people never collide, their frames do.
People never what?
People don't collide, their frames do.
Right.
So what if I always looked at it right now, Roger and I are talking, our frames are colliding, not us. You know how much acceptance I get for him the moment I just say that to myself? I can
no,
put up with any kind of point of view from him after that.
it's amazing how many things we have in our tool belt to recover from clashing with one another. It's just freaking phenomenal. Amazing.
Well, thanks to you. First of all, how did I do?
Yeah, I
Gold
think I got a
stars,
marinade on it
stars,
somewhere.
bronze stars.
I
All the
think
stars.
I need frames and I need a set of brushes and I need a new canvas and a sword.
You know what was a new one that he threw at me today? He said, yeah, you got rid of the frame, but you're still holding to the ugly painting.
I mean, I felt that way. I feel that way.
That's like a one heck of a stubborn frame.
So all I have to do is be more certain than you, right?
I said certain, not stubborn.
I'm
No,
gonna
you
take
have
your
more
word for it.
clarity on top of that.
You were the master negotiator. I'm gonna have to take your word for it. That frames are the reason. What about biology? What about all these other things? Like, how should I only be focusing on my frame, or should I be focusing on my biology, my frame, my amygdala? Like, there's so many different things happening.
How are you going to
Are we
focus?
reducing it all to frame?
So first of all, you can't control your amygdala and all that stuff. That is your being part. Breathe. Just breathe. Breathing will take care of a lot of our amygdalas or our fight and flight systems, what we're really trying to say, right? So
Mm,
very first thing I said is before doing anything, you got to work on our being. We got to work on our being, right?
yeah.
I have to be, why does it help to be in a team? When Bree has a problem, she reaches out to me. I am not in the moment. When I'm needing advice, I'm asking Roger because he's not in the moment, right? Uh, there you go. I think I'm stuck because that's exactly what happens to that character.
that character is stuck in that frame.
Mm.
Well, that's the painting. You and you, man, like,
No. Hey, full on, none but respect. I mean, I'm glad you helped me with this today because I do feel a lot better about frames, and I can see that all the weight that is placed on a frame. Now, my mind's still wondering about all these other things. Like you said, it is about the being. I can't quickly jump to the frame. I would hate for someone to go home and try to use this, and they're like, "Man, his frame is broken, or her frame is broken."
you
Screw
know,
her.
I know you're scanning for a catch. So let's just call out what's really being done here. He is a very sharp guy. You're a very sharp person.
Oh,
You're someone who is very well read, very well crafted in your thinking, and to be it's quite intimidating to have a conversation with a person like him, and he's going to present an argument that's so factual. I don't work on facts. I feel shit and then I think about it later, right? And I collect facts later, right? First I just like, let's just, it feels good, let's just do it.
that's a nice way to say like he needs to get his head out of his ass. But I'll take it. I'll take it as a compliment.
I didn't say it, but hey.
I didn't
Listen,
hear that.
no,
Good,
I
good,
know.
good.
Hey, so guys, listen. I don't want to just leave the conversation here, but I think I got you.
Let's pause. Bree, was this helpful? Do you see some demonstration of something happening here live to you in front of your eyes?
Yeah, we delivered 46 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yay! You're so good.
I did it for you. Say what I have.
The moment. I love it. Well, honey, let's not extend it any further because rest should be on the next webcast. Well, Roger is going to be missing. He's actually training next week. So just make sure you set up everything for us. Guys,
Coffee social is scheduled. So please.
Where?
Attend.
Where?
We're at Easy Tiger.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Easy
he's not going to
Tiger.
be around to change the location this time, Bree. So we will
Yeah.
arrive at the Easy Tiger. So,
Easy
but you know what? I'm getting feedback from people. They enjoyed the last location more because they think they're able to interact more and learn more. So maybe we should look into that conference room thingy that we were talking about. But on that note, love you all. Thank you so much. This viewer that has been here since the beginning.
Hey, Varun. Hey, thank you so much. We got comments. Sorry, we got all up in the
Oh shit, we didn't even read the comments.
all up in the momentum today. We have to like physically click on there to see the comments coming in. But definitely really appreciate the comments. And thank you, Varun. Thank you. And what else? Anything else, guys, that y'all want to cover before we head out?
I would say just be around, be here, be okay with whatever you have, what is coming your way. Enjoy life.
I love your Jesus hair, Bree. I feel like you're peaceful and you got the hair. You know, it's like we think it's you know? I don't know what it is.
I love this. This is what I'm going to call it
in
now.
my spiritual place right now.
This hair.
Bree, live my life. Thank you. Love you all. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.